going on, everyone? And today we are live and I'm going to be showing you on how to make a 10k job. And as you can see on screen, we have got my file here. Let me just drag it across. So to start off this whole thing, you are going to need a PC, and you want to download a Visual Studio Code, which is in the description, which will look like this. When you go to the website, it will look like this, and you go on download for Windows. Let me just quickly come out of that. Once you've downloaded it, you want to go ahead and make a folder and name it whatever you want. We're gonna be updating the fish job today, as you guys have seen on my channel. This is for PS4 and Xbox One, as you can see here. So once you load Visual Studio Code, it will look like something like this. So that is pretty much step one out the way. Most of these steps are to do on PC, not on your console. So yeah, let's get into this. So if you do enjoy it, be sure to like this stream. I'm just going to add some music. Make sure I turn it down a bit. That'll be around about there. There we go. Just give me a second and I'll show you how to start making this job and what it will look like. There are some basic tips you are going to need. You are going to need to know how to code. So that will probably be step one. Open this up. I've just seen the chat and some people are actually wondering how to make these, and today is the day. I did say I'd make this, so there we go. Cool, right, so once you've downloaded Visual Studio Code, links in the description, you want to go to File and you want to add a new file. Then it will look like this. Before you do anything, you want to make sure you pin it. You want this to be the main one. This is where most of your code will go. As you see, if I type, it will name it whatever. Before you do anything, you want to go ahead and File, Save As. Find out where you have downloaded the main file, so it's on my desktop. Just quickly find it, fish job, and this is the first part. You want to make sure you click on the save as type, because this is all going to be done as a JavaScript. So here it is, JavaScript, and the first one you want to name is job, but make sure it has a capital J, and you add inverted slashes above like so. Let me just make it a bit bigger so you can see. Here we go, right here, I'll highlight it, so it should look something like this, and you'll click save. You'll notice at the top here it will say job, and this is where you want to start your code. So before you start any type of code, make sure you are on the backspace, so you can't go back anymore. There's no, like, if you space, you see it creates a box. You don't want to make sure that you don't want to see that, so you want to click enter a couple times, so you can leave a bit of gap here, because you are going to use these later on. The first thing you're going to want to do is create exactly what I'm creating, which is, make sure it's all done in lowercase. I just made a mistake. And you want to name it body, because this is going to be the start of the job. You want to space down again. Now the body is basically what the job is. It's just how you make it, how the job will be done. Let me just open that up. Yeah, just basically how the job will be processed. So yeah, now you want to name the title of this job. So most times when I publish these jobs, I don't add a name because it can get patched really easy. But in this case, I'm going to be adding a title, and it's going to be called this. This can be in capital letters or whatever, because it's just what's going to be the title of the job, and it's going to be called "It's exclamation mark raining fish awesome." Now you're probably wondering how you get the colors, because I don't want all this to be in white text. It won't come up on Visual Studio Code, but it will come up when you publish a job, for example. So I want white, and then raining I want in red. So there is different things you can find out how to do this on Google, etc. But for the time being, I'm going to leave it like this. So to do it, you want to click up, like so, and it will do an up arrow. Then you want to choose the number, so in case you don't know, certain numbers do certain colors, but for raining it will be 5, so up 5. Then you want to do an in, so this here, raining here, will be done in red. One way to make this a bit easier is copy this, paste it at the end of raining, remove the 5, and I want this to be red fish as well. And there you go, so now we got that. I'm not going to do much with the title because I don't want it to be changed as much, but that's how you get a coloured title. So yeah, let me just quickly make sure you guys can see the screen alright, because there's no point doing all this tutorial if you can't see the screen. I think it's alright. Tell me in the chat if you can read it alright, guys, because I know this might not be as readable. Not really much I can do to extend that, to be fair. Yeah, but once you've done this, you want to add a line above and space down, out, title, and this will be the title, the space down on that. You want to copy the exact same title here. Let me just, there we go. Copy, paste. Now we've got the title, which is this. If someone could comment in the chat and say if you can read the text on screen, would be appreciated, because I'm not sure if you can see it or not. I don't want to do this whole tutorial and you guys can't read it. There are going to be multiple files we are going to be saving, so make sure you do keep them. There we go. Right, now that's the title sorted, you want the description. So the description, all you have to actually do, can you zoom in a little bit? I wonder if I can transform, edit transform. Give me a second, I might be able to help a bit. Bottom 500. I will have to just keep zooming. Will you publish this? Yeah, I will publish this job and play it. There you go. It should be a bit easier to see now. I will publish this so you guys will. I'll show you me playing the job. Make sure just to prove that the title and description is all the same. I will have to keep zooming like that. But so far, as you can see, what we got is the body, which is the start, title, and then I've done this. This is what the title will be. If you don't know what the numbers are, the colors. Now we're going to go ahead and do the description. So you want to go down twice. Description isn't actually just slash description slash. It's actually subtitle, because that's not how it works. Because it's a subtitle, it's just how the code will work. And then subtitle, space, and then whatever it is. I'm going to copy this. It obviously can be whatever you want it to be, but will I be able to find it on Rockstar Games? That's one thing, as I say, about getting the link. It just is so annoying to get. So there we go. We've got subtitle and title. These are just the main things you want to get done before you start actually coding the job. So let me go down twice and copy this body. So it'll basically look like something like this. This is how you want to start every job you make, basically. So that is the title and subtitle. Everything else you don't really want to add. There is other things you can add just by doing rating, but there's really no need. When you launch up the job, it will just be already there for you. So now the next line of code is where you want to start actually getting the pedestrians to drop the cash that you need. If I open up my second screen, I can show Where is it? To do it, you will need to know some sort of coding, like when you load up a... How do I do it quick? There we go. You will have to know how to do certain types of code to actually get it to work, because now you've done the title of it, it's like making a website if you think about it like that. Go. Cool, right, so now we've done that, now you need to start actually coding it. You will notice if you do type in certain things, if you type in S, you will notice it just comes up with subtitle, title, etc. Make sure if you are using this, down at the bottom here, I've just made a mistake there as well, it's currently, you won't be able to see this, but at the bottom right of the screen, make sure it doesn't say plain text, and you want to go on here and make sure JavaScript is enabled, otherwise it won't work. It might. Is it not going to crash for me? There we go. And every time you do a bit of a line of code, make sure you do go ahead and save it. Obviously I've already saved it in the folder. There we go. So now I can actually start typing this in. So now go down to around about here. Now if you start typing things, it will come up a lot more options. If you type in S or R. But yeah, so this is where we're going to start coding the job now. So this is where it's going to start getting a bit complex. This is what makes the job really long and hard to make. But to start this, you do want to type in, where is it? If you type in if, and it will go condition. Let's do that. Condition, and then you want to type in capital letters, kill. So it's if, kill, then goes down. You want to type in give, space, space, 2 spaces, brackets. Then you want to type in the amount of money. Obviously, there's certain codes you can do, but for it to give you 10k, the code is 257.910. Type in that code. 2 spaces out, 1 bracket, space, space, inner bracket, and it will look something along the lines like this. Copy body. This is the basic line of code as well, so if you want any help with this, I can copy and paste this whole line of text in the description. You can change obviously whatever the name is going to be. So now that is the kill section, but you need to make sure you name the pedestrian. Let me make sure I'm back there. So you want to type in N, it should be the first one to come up, new, and it says name. So this will be whatever they're called. It needs to have a capital letter. So let's name it. It will go to consent person. So this is the name person. They haven't got to really have a name because it can be basically anything. New type. The type can be anything from a number from 1 to 4. This is the obviously whatever they are. 1 is a space ranger. 2 is a alien. 3 is a puzzle, which is someone that holds a camera. And the last one is a pogo. So it can be any of them, but I'm going to do 0, which is a fish. So let's type in 0. Argument. Arguments needs to be whatever the person's name is. So the person. You'll notice they won't go together like that. Dot dot, and then how much again. This is how much will come up on screen. If you type in 10 and colon, it come up with these. So there we go, 10,000. Make sure, I just forgot to add that, but you need to make sure you add a $sign. Otherwise it won't verify the amount of money. Space down. W, and then you want to do while condition. Just minus that out. While condition killed. slash slash while condition dead while condition player slash, and if you do slash, it will come up body. Killed. There you go. Make sure you guys can see it. It will be a bit of a complex tutorial, but you'll understand it once we get into it. So now that is pretty much a setup of how you get the 10k, but that is not the end of it yet. Let's go ahead and make sure I save that. You will need to open up another one now, so you want to go File, New File, so you can flitch between these two. Make sure then you go ahead and go File, Save As, and it will bring up this. This is where you want to save it, so this is Fish Job. Make sure once again you scroll down and use the JavaScript. Where is it? Did I just click on it? JavaScript. Make sure you are in this folder, the folder where it's going to be going. Now we've done job, now you want to do base. Oh, you won't be able to see this, hang on, move this up. Get it a little bit more. There we go. Here where it says this, we'll do colon up, base, space, line, baseline code, colon up, save. Now you'll see at the top it will say job and baseline code. Skip a couple lines. Now this is where you want to actually start learning certain codes. Well, I mean, when I mean certain codes, there's a lot of stuff you need to know now. One thing you're going to want to do first is go on Google and type in Rockstar Games GTA5. Once you type in Rockstar Games GTA5, go on the actual website for it, rockstargames.com. You want to find GTA, the picture. You want to click Inspect Element, so you have the code for it. There it is. Copy element. We go back to here. Copy in the element, and let me just scroll up. The element looks something like this. This may look very confusing. If you don't know how to copy where it is inspect element, then I'm showing this on screen right now so you can see what this is. Basically saying the picture of the code must equal to the game, so this is allowing you to be able to, for the job to be published, so it will stay up. So that is line code number 1. But before you do anything, go back to job and body. There it is. You want to make sure you copy this first bit of code only from body to body, from title to title, on line 1, and that gives that line of code. So we're getting quite far into this now. As I said, it takes time to do this, so it is a lot of practice. You get faster and faster over time. But now you've done that, you want to go ahead and now this is something I'm going to have to put in the chat unless you want to type it. There's a lot to type, so let me just grab it quick. Where is it? Copy element. In between these two, you want to make sure you do 2 inverts and put T15, well, you can see it here, underscore T1T5H. And the top one needs to be 1_11BN. You're probably wondering what the hell's all this. It is just for the game to run. Otherwise it won't run and it will probably crash. It will happen multiple times, so learning how to do it would probably be the best choice. The second line of code is where it's going to start getting, well, I mean, you can see a lot complex. This line of code, I'm going to have to, I don't know if all this will go in the description, so maybe I might have to make a Word document so you guys will be able to download this. This exact line you don't want to leave like this. You want to go here in between where it says true and style, and if you click enter, it will do a second line of code and add the inverts on each side. This one here doesn't need to have an invert. Do a out bracket space inner bracket space, and do the same for this one, space out bracket space inner bracket, and it will look something along the lines of like this. So it gets a bit complex, but trust me, once you actually know how to make these jobs and you make them and make it for other players, it will be really fun to play with. I'm just going to quickly take a drink, because I've been talking loads. I'm going to be talking a lot more as well. Right. Style position. Right, let's copy style position. Actually, no, we can just tab down from that. Right, now we're going to start getting some more exciting code. Just some basic codes now. So for the game to run, / start, it will look something similar to this, space start. Make sure I tab that. Yeah. Start. Then you want to do colon game start, game starting ... And then, do you know when you load into the game and it comes up with a banner? It comes up on screen with a little banner screen and it says, are you sure you want to start, etc. You want an option saying yes or no, so it will be brackets yes space brackets no. Right, then when you've got the choice between yes or no, make sure you don't write anything in between yes or no. Let them make sure there's a space. Tab down from that. And it's game has started. You want all this in a bracket. There's a lot of brackets involved. Let's just put it like that. Game started. Now you want to have your own code line. This is different to each individual job. This is actually depending on if you've ever made a job on your console. If you've made jobs before, you want to put code 2152278. So I'm going to make sure this isn't counted into the code. Bracket it out. So this code right here is if you've made jobs. So this code here is if you've made jobs. Let me just copy that. You haven't actually got to put this line of code in, I'm just showing what it would look like. And if you have... And if you've not made jobs, the only difference is this 22 right here is a 66. So this is what you want to note down. I need to zoom down a bit. There we go. If you have made jobs, this is the code you'll need. If you haven't made jobs, then this is the code you'd need. In this case, because I have made jobs, then I'm going to need to have this code. I'm going to keep this in the here because it doesn't affect your code. If you put hashtags in the lines of your code, it doesn't count. It doesn't affect it in any way. Just something you might want to know if you're getting into coding. So I'm going to keep this here, tab it down a bit. So because I have code, I need to know this line. Now you want to do a baseline code, which is a line, this, and this is obviously the code dependent on if you have or haven't made jobs. Now you want to copy exactly what this is onto your job screen. Just like that. It will do body after it, so then you want to put body, and then you want to put copy. Then do body again. Let it just keep as that. Then there'll be an in-between bit here. You want to put A5JI. just like so. You should be able to see it. Yeah, you will be able to see it on screen. Now you've done that, you've got your baseline code. This line of code here, try to make sure it shows up on screen. This line of code here will copy all this above, and it will paste it onto your baseline code here, which you'll be using to get the job to work. So now you want to go ahead and go back to Google. There's a lot of stuff that is involved to Google. Social Club. Now you want to go on Social Club and go to where is it? Go to the option that says jobs, and it's quickly verify my age. There we go. I'll show you guys on screen. Make sure you're able to see. So when you're at this screen, this is where obviously you bookmark jobs, etc. This is where you'll be choosing if it's for Xbox or if it's with PS4. So you have to do this manually. First of all, you want to go to where the filter option is. Make sure you click on any time. Players, it needs to be 4. Don't do any more. So first of all, we'll do PS4. So make sure that PS4 is selected. It is going to be under the as a capture. So make sure you select capture. Jobs. Just make sure all this is the exact same. Jobs, Grand Theft Auto, capture, PlayStation 4, 4 players, all content, anytime, and popularity, just keep it like so. Once you've done that, you want to go ahead and inspect element by searching on the jobs. I don't know if I'll be able to show you this. Let me just tab up here. So this is what it will look like. It says inspect element. You want to do this, but by clicking, if you click on search jobs, inspect elements, and it will bring up this page, and it will bring up your input, search jobs. This is what you want to copy, and you want to go to copy element. How about that? Because I'm going to need that in a sec. So going back to your line of code, make sure you are on the jobs tab first. / copy, paste that line of code you just did. It will do a input in between your value, so make sure your value is set to 0. Then go to your baseline of code, and I'm going to keep this here so you guys can still see it if you have or haven't made jobs before. Will you publish for Xbox as well? Yeah, I will be publishing for both. I'll show you how to do it for both in a sec. And as you see, I've got baseline code, PS4, and then you want to do a forward arrow, paste, search arrow, paste, and type in PS4 again, and you will notice the command comes up as blue, so select that. Then a up arrow 5, that does that. Now it's slightly different as well. This here is if you have or haven't made jobs. Make sure I come down. This is for PS4. Make sure I cover this in hashtags. So this is PS4 here. These are the codes for PS4. So now I'm going to show you what Xbox looks like. So I'm going to copy this, paste, and I'll show you what Xbox looks like. Xbox is slightly different because it's got numbers. Let me go back. So if you have made jobs for Xbox, will be AZ559. And then if you haven't, let me just remember, it is TIU771. Slightly longer, but yeah. So this is Xbox and this is PS4. So now we're going to go ahead and do for Xbox. So Xbox, if you have made jobs, go ahead and copy, backslash, space, /. Now we need to get the new input, so we can copy this. And now we want to change this to Xbox One. Make sure there's no space, it needs to be all in one. Then in between, let me make sure that's right. Input class, search, yes. Now you want to go back to your Google Chrome bit here, wherever you're going. Select Xbox One, Give it a second to load. Make sure everything else is the exact same. Just click on search jobs, inspect element, go here, placeholder, copy element, go back to here. I'm going to quickly tab this back. It is basically the same, but just to be on the safe side, you can just go ahead and paste it in again, the value, and then type in Xbox One up arrow 5, and it will pretty much do the same thing, but remember to do in between here Xbox One. There we go. So now we've got both line of codes, and you want to do a / search equals PS4 / Xbox One. Make sure you do a up arrow. Cool, well that's pretty much the start of that. So they're the codes if you haven't memorized already. Xbox if you have or haven't made a job, or PS4 if you have or haven't made a job before. Now you want to jump over to a previous job, and this is where you'll get the job code. So this is where the job will be published. So go back onto here. Should better see the screen. Yep. We'll go back to PlayStation first. It doesn't actually really matter. You need to go on one of the Rockstar. Let me scroll down a little bit. It needs to be created by Rockstar Games. It needs to show this one line here. So you want to click on this and click inspect, and then you'll get a down arrow, and now you'll get this long line of code. You want to go to copy element, scroll down, and you want to do a / arrow show forward arrow. Then you want to paste it. It will be extremely long because this is the baseline code. This is where most of the code will be going. But you want to go forward to find it. There it is. There'll be a in and out arrow to path. Click enter, and it will at least come in a lot more. You can also decrease that if you find the right number. There it is. It's a lot to notice, but in between where it says -2 and 6, no, 6 and 4, sorry, backspace it, and it will say 64, and then enter. Now you'll get this. Right, now we're through most of the hard work. Now it's mainly getting to some of the less complicated stuff. Let me just edit this transform. There we go. There you go. You can see a full screen now, just a little bit less zoomed. Right. Now you've done most of the hard stuff, you've just got to do a lot of copy and pasting now. So it's a lot to do with inspect an element because you need most of the baseline codes. If you don't know already, inspect an element is the baseline code of the game. Like, created by Rockstar Games, you could easily just double click on this and then type in whatever you wanted to create. So you could type in hello and then click enter, and now you've changed it on the website here. You get my point. So now you want to actually be able to publish this job. You could do your own picture, for example. So if I click on this is some random game. You want to get your picture as well. Actually, I'll show you that now. So you want to get your thumbnail. I'm going to have to go through all my files here. So you want to find your thumbnail. So here's my thumbnail. Desktop. And you'll notice we've got the baseline code in here, and we've got the job. You want to go ahead and paste the thumbnail, but you don't want to name it thumbnail. You want to rename and name it whatever you want. So whatever the picture will be. So this is going to be fish job. Make sure there we go. Fish job /.exe needs to be an exe for it to do a. If you do exe and then click on refresh, it'll still be JPEG file. You don't want it to be a JPEG file. otherwise it won't open correctly. So you want to go down to where it says, here we go, send to compressed zipped folder. It will copy that, enter, and now you'll get a WinRAR zip. If you haven't got WinRAR, you can go on Google and download that. Go ahead and delete the original. And now we will have the picture for the job. So when you load up the job now, it will, let me open up this. Go across a bit more, there we go. So now when you load up the job, it will look similar to this, the picture of the job. Now you want to start actually making it so when you load in, you'll get something along the lines of this. So to get along the lines of something like this, you want to go on it, click down arrow again. This is where you're going to have all the in-game markers. You want to make sure you find this one here, marker pane. This is what you're going to need. So copy element, go back to here. We'll go ahead and we'll go back to job. Space down, paste it. You'll notice once again extremely long line of code. This you can't really mess around with, you need to leave it as it is, otherwise it won't work. But if you really want to copy this, then you can, but it's not that hard to get. You just need to find marker pane. This is the main line of code that will show this. Yep, this is one step you haven't got to do. If you want the job to run smoothly with all the features, then yeah, I would recommend it. So now you've done that. Now the bookmark job is what you need to do to get the job to go across. So if you right click on bookmark job, you'll notice it gets selected. That's what you're looking for. You want it to be selected. You see if I hover over it, you can get that little flash. It changes slight color, and if you right click on it, it will have an orange line around it. Now if you go and inspect element, you'll notice it selects this exact code for the button. So this is the button that you're going to use to bookmark the job. So you want to go ahead and copy the element. Now going back to your code, you don't want to be using it on either one of your job or baseline. You are going to need to make a new section. So file, new file. Once again, make sure it's not plain text, it needs to be JavaScript. So just type in JavaScript, just like so. Before you start messing about with it and doing stuff, make sure you do save it. Let me just make sure I save this. Don't want to lose this on stream. Go ahead, file, save as, desktop. Make sure it's once again in here. Now this isn't your baseline code or your job. This is what the job. This is how the job is going to load. So you want your loading. Let me just type in loading, just like that. You should better see it. Make sure this is selected as JavaScript. If not, select it and you will better find it. And then click on save. Now we've got job, baseline and loading. Now the first line of loading you need to remember when creating a job like this. You need to type in */ load / like that, forward arrow, sorry. Then you want to do enter, and then you want to put if not, do not track, load equals error event. You will notice it will go green / move by, enter, bracket, stop, space, game, pad, work, let. This is what you need to remember. You need to always remember this when you're going to do load. If you're going to make these jobs, then you need to remember this one main line of code. Now once you've done that line of code you saw we copied, the button, you can go ahead and paste it. You want to do where it says just under before type, you can enter that back, and you can also do it here where the path is. And this you can do in between here. This line of code really doesn't actually matter. You can actually delete it from where it says 2C0 and delete the rest of this. because the button won't actually matter. The bookmark is all you really need. So now you've got this. So now you want to do how the job will load. So we'll go back to, check Discord. There we go. Right, so now you've got the job. People have bookmarked it, for example. This is how the job will load. Now you want to go ahead and click on where it says, whereabouts is it? Is it down here? Here we go, the location. It's not actually what you're going to need, but you'll see what I mean once we click on it. So inspecting the element, and you'll see where a lot of span. You want to scroll down a little bit, and this is where the game is based on. This is a lot to copy, so make sure your PC has got enough RAM to copy this. But when you copy this, you don't want to copy as an element. You want to copy as a JS path. If you don't know what JS is, well, JavaScript. That's what we're doing. So you want to copy as a JavaScript path. Now, if you go back to here, make sure you're on. Make sure you're not spaces in front. Paste it, and you'll notice it's not. You're probably wondering why is it not done a huge line of code. Now this is where your PC can't copy this. If it can't copy it like it's just done to me, go ahead and go on break on, go down to node removal, and you'll notice you'll get this little blue option. If you go back to here and then you go on put down. Now what this will do is give you the option to paste that line of code in. So how this will work, if you now go to copy element, you will get the JavaScript version of it. So this is probably going to be the longest line of code there is. Yeah, you can sort of see it's very long. But now you've got the, well, you can see right here, text equals JavaScript. So what you want to do where this src is make sure you backspace it so it loads to this. But before you do that, make sure you put a line of code saying ops, and then you want to put line load in. Make sure load is in capital letters with an ing in lower letters. Now you've got this. Now there's not really much you can really do in loading. It's the main part of the game, but that is how that works. But now you want to start making your individual PEDs. So PEDs it can be a bit annoying to do, but once you get one file done, you can just copy and paste as many as you want. So this is where they will spawn, etc. So make sure I file and save this. Then we want to do file, new file, file, save as. This will be what you want to name as PEDs. So if you know what PEDs are, PEDs is what you kill to get the money. So now we're working on that line of code. So make sure it doesn't say plain text. You want to always be checking that, and you want to make sure it's JavaScript. There it is, JavaScript. Click on save. If it comes up with this, the file name is not valid. Just take off these. I just did it so I could show you what it looks like. Now when you load up, you'll see you'll get a peds.js. You'll notice that's the only one that's actually got it. These ones don't have JS. Now what JS is, obviously it's JavaScript, but what it does is shows what they will drop. So for example, 10,000 per kill. So now the first line of code for this is /spawn, then space, drop string map, then you want to type in $, then how much it is. So in this case it will be 10,000, and you want to do another slash, enter, if not dropped equals, then you want to type in $, 2,000, then you want to do a inner bracket, killed, ped, forward arrow, ped number, and you'll see a ped number list, And this is where, well, I mean, because this is a fish job, as you can see if we go back to here, scroll up, you can see it's raining fish. So we're going to be doing the fish job for here, for example. You will want to get this to actual work, don't copy the body, do if, killed, give. So we just copy this, please. There we go. We'll make sure you copy this one line of code as we did earlier on. Just to say, this stream will be kept up, so you'll be able to watch this whole stream back from the beginning, so you could be able to watch this all the way from the beginning and understand every step if you do need. If you have any problems, do be sure to message me on Discord. So now we're going to go back to PEDs after copying that. And then you want to do PED list was a 0 for a fish. Enter, enter. And then you want to paste this. Now, PEDs, this is where you're going to want to have a lot of these. You'll see what I mean now. We save, open up files, desktop, fish job. You'll notice now we've got PEDs JavaScript file. This is where you're going to want to go ahead and copy, and you want to go ahead and paste, and you'll see you've got the copied version. You're going to want to do this a lot of times, so this is obviously depending on how many PEDs you want. This is what I said, it could take a long time to do. You're going to need at least 50 of them. You won't. This is make sure before you do this, the whole line of code is correct. You'll notice if it's correct because if you click enter and you do question mark space, if it comes up with a red line like so, then you know that's correct. Let me just back out. There we go. So yeah, this is going to be what takes a lot of the time. But once you have one long copy of this, it really doesn't take that long. You can just copy and paste it. But because I'm doing a fish job, this is where it can take a bit of time. So we're going to go ahead, keep pasting these. Probably going to be here for a couple minutes because this is the most tedious part. I wonder if I can... Oh, there we go. I'm going to do a lot more because I've just figured out a way I can do it a lot faster. I'm going to try and do at least 100. There we go. If you want to know that quick tip I just did, was actually Control V, which pastes it. So now as you can see, we do have 100 of these PEDs, so that is what spawns in. So then we've got the loading, the job, and the baseline code. So now we're getting into the most fun part, let's put it, because now we've done everything that makes the job be able to work like this. This is what makes the job a lot longer but a lot fun. So now we need to make a new file, but let's quickly save first. File, new file, file, save as. We want to go down to our desktop, make sure this is JavaScript. And you want to make sure you name this file money. This is probably the fun part. Money. Save. Now you'll get money.js, PEDs, loaded, baseline, and job. Just like so. Now money is where, well, it's the most fun part. This is where how many times you want the 10k to be able to drop. Now, because it's the fish job, and you guys have probably seen my recent video of the fish job, this whole video, well, this stream that I'm doing right now is going to be exact same job, but brand new, because if you didn't know already, the previous one, yeah, it's sort of really buggy and can give you a lot of money, but also be at risk of getting banned. So now you've got money. Now you want to type in / give player $10 10,000 if false condition, then it will be 2,000. This actually only depends if you're playing with other players. Then else brackets here, and then you want to type in player's name, so it can be anywhere. Obviously it can be anyone's name, so to get this to work for everybody, just do 4 question marks, and then you want to close that bracket with a double space. There we go, and you'll notice it comes up like this. And now this is how many times you want it to repeat. So if you do a inner arrow space repeat, repeat, and you'll notice if you go down to, you'll get the recycle transport state, and this is repeating how many times you want it to repeat. In and out arrow. So this time, for example, we want it to be 9, 9. We just want as many 9s as possible. Obviously the game wouldn't go on for this long, but yeah, you get my point. And now you've got the money, and now you want to go ahead and copy this whole line of code, and you want to paste this a couple of times so the game will run it as many times as the game goes on. I recommend going to at least line 100. So there you see, line 100, and we got all this. And you can also scroll using this option. So now we've got the job, baseline, loading, heads, and money. Now this is where you want to actually get. This is where it's going to start getting a lot more fun. Now you want to go ahead and let me just grab this. Also, to get for this to work, you are going to need a USB stick. So let me go up on my files and go to, where is it? This will be put in the description as well. I'll put the direct download link for it after this stream. Where is it? Because you are going to need a certain file. Basically, how to get this file is plug your USB stick into your console, and you want to go to your most recent game save for GTA5, and this is where you will transfer all your files, etc., over to PC, and where you can actually go ahead and add it. Trying to find it is very fun though. There it is. Put it onto my desktop. Let me show you here. Show you up on screen. Yeah, so once you get the file to your USB stick, you want to go ahead and paste it. And it's going to be called user common. I need to zoom out a bit. There it is. user_common.cgp. Now, first of all, you're going to need to go into Creator. Before you do all this coding, you have a choice. You can code it, or you can go ahead and make the job then code. But you want to make a job, and make sure when you make the job you don't publish it, you just put it in your saves, and obviously your most recent save data will show it. So we go in here, make sure it doesn't really matter what you open it with. If I open it with Notepad, it will pop my other screen, but don't open it with Notepad. I'll show you my reason why. If you open up a Notepad, this is what you'll get. You'll get the most random stuff. So you want to go ahead and click on, where the hell, why is it not coming up? Before you actually open it, you want to go ahead and make a new file first, to be fair. Make sure I save. Go to new file. Save as. Save this file. Put it in my desktop. This job. This one you're going to need it to be plain text, otherwise it won't appear up on screen. It doesn't actually matter what you name this, but just name it something along the name of game save. Just so you know exactly what it is. Then go ahead to your here, drag and drop to here, and you'll see it says copy. If it comes up with the file's not displayed in the editor because it's used either as a binary, just open it anyways, and then you'll get this line of code. Now this code is save data basically, and this is what you're going to need. But I'm going to break it down for you guys so you know exactly what this line of code is used for. So this bottom line of code right here, actually one way I can do this easier to explain it to you guys. Tab it down, put the hashtags in, take its time, there we go. So now this line of code right here, the bottom line of code, will always explain how your most recent job. So most recent job. that's what that line of code is. You obviously, because it's a different language in coding, you won't know exactly what it is until you've actually coded the job. Now this second line of code, put some more hashtags in. There we go. The second line of code is when the job was made. Is there a fish job already published? There is one current fish job published by my friend in my crew, but he has, as I said, the job was really bannable if you play it, and his account got banned, so he had to make a new one. So he's asked me to make a brand new fish job on stream, just to prove to you guys that it does work. So yeah, this line of code was when the job was made. Let's have that down a bit. Now this nice long line of code, be careful of this, because this is actually your baseline code. Baseline code. Oh, Callum, hi. Yeah, I forgot to add your mod. Give me a second and I'll add it. Add moderator. I think I added you as a mod. I'm not 100% sure. We ain't gonna need this for now. Yeah, so this was the baseline code. Try not to delete any of this, because this actually can affect your game without even connecting into it. Let me tab this down. Now this line of code is explaining all the game settings. Game settings. So try not to change these as well. Now these two line of codes here are actually joint. I don't understand why they never go together. You can fix that, but to be fair, I'd rather keep them how it is. So can we play this after? When this job won't be completed today, I know that for sure, but I don't know, we might better finish this today, but I don't know about publishing it today. So these two line of codes right here explain what the character will get. So this will be PED's info. So PED's info, and you put it in brackets, is player. So this is the players, how much money they have, the settings, etc. This is actually how people mod accounts on PC using this these two lines of code. Now we're going to go on to these two lines of code are also the joint. You tab this down. These two lines of code right here explain why, well, all the help settings basically. Help settings. So this is like how to play, etc. So when you go into the pause menu on GTA, it shows you to do that. This last line of code is the map. It explains everything to do with the map. You're a pro coder now. Oh, thanks, appreciate that. So yeah, this last line of code is the map. So what you can see. There we go. So now I hope I broke that down for you, because I mean it was a bit confusing all in one. So the bottom line of code, most recent job, when the job was made, the game settings, the PED's info, help and settings. I'll need to how to play the game, and the map. So it breaks it down really easy so you can understand it. So we've got the job, baseline, loading, PEDs, money, game setter, and the user underscore comment. Right, it's a lot of talking, so yeah, just gonna have like a 30-second break. If you guys want to ask me any questions, be sure to ask. You should do a gaming setup vid. I believe I already have a gaming setup vid on my channel. If you go back through my channel a little bit, you'll notice I've got one. My throat. Yeah, so we'll carry on with this in about a minute or so. Just gonna have a quick breather, because yeah, that's a lot of talking and a lot of explaining to do. But obviously this stream I'm gonna keep up on YouTube, so you guys will understand how to make these. Let me see if anyone new joined the Discord. Right, so oh, by the way, is the music working in the stream, everyone? Can I bookmark it? It's not yet published. Where did you get the user underscore common from? Yeah, so I did explain how you get that. So to get the user underscore common, you need a USB stick. So if I show you on screen, I've got my flash drive. So my flash drive is something that can be removed. So if I right click on it, you'll notice I can see inject. When you're on your PS4 or you're on your Xbox, when you plug it in, you need to go... Yeah, I can hear it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so when you plug it in, you want to go over to your GTA game or in the settings where your storage is, etc. If you go to your save data, you'll be able to copy the most recent save data. But before you do that, you need to make the job and save your... You need to go into Creator and make the job. Don't spawn any PEDs, etc. Just make a basic job. It doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be a capture. And it needs to be the first option. Pardon me. You don't need to. You just need to do a basic name for it, 'cause it will change when you add the code. And yeah, once you've transferred that common file over to your USB, then you'll be able to get all this information. So the help, the PED, the map, the game settings, the baseline. The baseline code we're going to be using in a minute, because this whole line of code here, you're going to need to add into your baseline code we did earlier on. You're also going to need it for the PS4, for example, or the Xbox. But we'll get there in a minute. Yeah, I can hear it. Let me make sure the music's working. Where's the gaming setup? Scrolled all the way to 8 months. Let me have a look on my phone quick. I did do a gaming setup quite a while ago. I can't even find it now. 4 months ago. I know I did it a long time back. My gaming PC setup. Oh yeah, that's what my original one looked like. Here it is. Copy. Paste. There you go. I just put it in the chat for you, Callum. Obviously, that was what it looked like a long time back, but over time I've improved it, and I've got obviously more monitors now. Right, we're gonna do a little bit more onto the stream. I'm gonna show, because all this code here is what you're gonna need. I've done it like this so it's easier to copy, etc. But yeah, so first of all, the job, you're gonna need the map code, which is here. So we need to copy map code. Only copy this, don't copy the top. Go to job and scroll down to where it says here, killed and dead, where we did earlier on. You want to make sure you paste this line of code on both sectors of it. Don't add an end bracket, because you obviously need the map to show. Obviously when you die, it'll come up with a map. Also do here, if killed. And that's that bit done. The baseline code, go back to here. Baseline code, here it is. Copy that. Baseline. Now the baseline, you want to go to where it says /start. You want to do a middle line. I'm trying to find it on my keyboard. I meant exclamation mark, space, paste, start, and then it will start the baseline code. Game started, enter, 2 brackets, 2 brackets. Callum, you're back. Yeah, so I hope you like my setup. Obviously, the picture I sent you was a lot different because it's changed over time now. I mean, I did upload it like 9 months ago or more. Going back to where I was, so that's the baseline code. Now, loading the job up, you need to get the PEDS info. That actually needs to go in job as well. We'll put that in job first. Copy that. Job. Scroll down. Last line of code where it says killed. When you paste, it will come out as a 4-liner. Let's go to baseline, not baseline, loading, sorry. 60k views this week. What do you mean 60k views? Also, now we've got that, go ahead, bracket, paste, open. Now I want to scroll down, most recent job, copy, go to money. Now before you do clear, I should have done this, but you should always do a couple spaces, because you never know. In total you'll need that. Yeah, oh yeah, I get what you mean now. Paste. We're going to do if opened, open, why did it do this? If opened / load equals, and then this, enter. Now this is where you can actually want to make use of your hashtags, because you don't want the player to get money straight away. And you want to put space, wait, for God's sake, I shouldn't press tab. Wait equals, and then it depends on really how fast you want the game to load or process. You want to give it enough time to load so the game doesn't freeze, for example, or doesn't load. So you want to put somewhere around 120 s. So if you don't know what s is, seconds, space, dot dot, loading time. The last line of settings we are going to need will be the game settings. The other stuff we don't really need. This game settings. The game settings will be very long, so copy that. Then you want to go to game saves, paste. That is pretty much all you need in game saves. That is just to make sure it works. And that is pretty much it for most of the setup today. I'm not gonna, I mean, it's been an hour tutorial. I mean, an hour and 15 minutes, and I've been talking. I'm gonna be doing the second parter to this. One thing I'm gonna quickly do on the stream. Just so you guys understand how many parts this is. If I quickly open up YouTube Studio. This is obviously part 1. Part 2, I probably might be doing probably this weekend, if I have time or not. Let me edit this. I haven't got enough room. That was the problem. This is part 1. Part 1 of 5. Part 1 of 5. I should better get this in a 5-parter, as it's something I might do in a very long live stream. So let's quickly update the stream. Cool. That's pretty much going to be the end of today's stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Before you do go, if this part 2 is already out, if you're watching this as I speak, make sure before you close down everything, you do go ahead and do an overall save on every tab by clicking on File, Save, and make sure you do this with every single line of code, because you don't want to lose any of this code, because it does take a long time. As you see, I've done an hour tutorial on how to do this, and it's taken a long time. Once you've done that, you should be okay to just exit out, and yeah, that should be it. Also in your description, you'll see, just to drag this over here, we've got all this so far. So all the peds, the user comment, you actually don't need to keep in here, but I'm going to keep it here for now, because later on you will need to transfer this back over to your console as your new game save. And yeah, so thanks for watching today's stream. I appreciate everyone joining in. I will see you at another point in time in a bit, guys.